This is Dennis with Impatient Creations, and I get an opportunity to show you really neat, classy muscle car. Now, this is a muscle car. It's a 1968 Camaro, a really, really neat street machine. It has been beefed up, made to be a performance car, not just a lot of engine, but a performance car. And so you'll really, really enjoy this. I'm looking forward to telling you all about it. We did the paint work about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 7, so it still looks real nice. But what I want to do is go over the car with you a little bit. Sam had some very specific requirements on the car. We tried to follow them to the letter. I think we did. But every place that you look on this car is really unique, and it's very much Sam, the owner, what his needs were and what he wanted to see and what he didn't want to see and how he wanted it to look. So when we get to open up the hood, when we get up underneath the undercarriage, when you get to the interior of the trunk, it's all just exactly like Sam wanted it. All these stripes are buried. That's the way we do them. The interior of the engine compartment is, the color goes all the way down in the interior. It showcases the engine. We've recently done some engine work with him and some chassis work, strengthening some things. We are now about 515, 517 at the rear wheels and a little over 500 in torque at the rear wheels. So you folks that do the arithmetic know that that's over 600 horsepower at the crankshaft. So that's the power plant. Now the neat thing is when we get up underneath the car, you'll see exactly how that power is actually put to the ground, and you'll also notice that it has drag radials in the back, and for those of you that like that, it bites. So this thing kicks up and goes. So if you see this car out and you think you got something, be careful with this car, okay? So now we're looking in the engine compartment, and what we have is an LS3, but it has been bored and stroked to a 408 size. For those that like to do the arithmetic, it's 6.7 liters. This is the one that's right now producing it at the crankshaft a little over 600 horsepower. It has a fast injection system, and of course you can't have a muscle car in Alabama without air conditioning. So it's air conditioned. You will notice the compartment is the same color as the exterior of the car. It is finished. It is detailed. You don't see a bunch of hoses and wiring and computers sitting around. It's all dressed right dressed. It has cold air induction. We have a radiator here that fits in the pretty much the stock location with all the fans and everything, so that you can be in traffic with this car and it'll cool the engine, and the air conditioner won't cut off. It'll continue to cool. We did run the stripes on into the engine compartment with these panels that we touched and fabricated for this. It does not have power brakes, and it is a 6-speed manual, so it has the clutch and reservoir, everything right here on the firewall. You'll notice that the bottom of the hood is also painted body color and high gloss. So we tried to do every detail in here just exactly like Sam wanted it. We're now looking at the interior, and what you're going to see here is a lot of originality is in here, but when you get into the appointments of comfort, you're going to find seats that hug you and keep you in place. You're going to see a console in here. As I mentioned before, it has the deep dish cup holders in it, so that regardless of what his performance needs are at that time, it will keep the drink from splashing around. It is a 6-speed, it is air conditioned, and it has a stock radio appearance to it, but the radio has 4 channels in it. It is Bluetooth. It's really state of the art, but it's all in an original radio. That's a special offering that we have here, and we've just had tremendous luck out of that. And then we can add subs and different speaker combinations as you like. So the back seats appointment look the same as the fronts, with the audio system back here and a special hat rack. And here in the trunk, you can see that we've got the amplifier and the connections for the speakers and adjustments that you can do on the amplifier from right here in the trunk. So it's an all business car, no matter where you live. Now, In addition to building the car to specs, what we did was the owner wanted LED lights on it. And you can see there, as you know, there's a lot of different options for LEDs, and this was his selection. But also our indicators, our turn signal indicators, as well as the marker lights down on the side. 68 was the first year for marker lights, so they're all LEDs. When you get to the dash lights up very nice. It's all LED as well, and this, of course, the stoplights. We want to make sure that you can see when we are putting on the brakes. So enjoy the lighting, and there are all different kinds of options for LEDs, but these really, really work. Now we're going to look at something that most people don't get to see. We've talked about this 68 Camaro. We've talked about how much horsepower it's got. In case you forgot, it's 500 and about 15, 17 to the rear wheels. So you know that the engine by itself is a little over 600 horsepower. But what does it look like on the business end of this 68 Camaro? Well, we're going to show you some neat stuff on the 68 Camaro, so stay tuned. One of the first things I want you to see, just from an overall perspective, look at the symmetry underneath here. Nothing's hanging down low. Everything's dress right dress all the way up to the front. We'll talk about these components as we go, but I wanted you to see the overall perspective. And let me tell you, it is not easy to get all of this stuff to like each other. You'll notice exhaust system is a Borla, and he put the quiet resonators on it so that when he's not running the open headers, which I'll show you that in just a minute, then it goes out through the tips on the back. But while we're back here, this is the heights part of the business, and this is what gets the torque and the horsepower to the ground. We have what we call a 4-link setup. We have lower control arms, parallel upper control arms, and then we have reinforced them into the original frame rails. You know, these were unibodies, so it went into the frame rails, and we have overdone the connection on that so that it will even up into here, where it will keep the wheels on ground and keep this power to the ground. When we look at this over here, we see these what we call cheater or a drag radial that allows, it's very soft rubber. You might get 2,000 or 3,000 miles out of it, but they're hard miles so that you can, it will grip the road. You'll see the 13-inch rotors, the emergency brake cables, and of course coilovers all the way around, so we can adjust the not only the ride height but the tension that they're going to be. These are adjustable shocks. So as we move forward, we see the aluminum 3.5-inch drive shaft, custom built for this car. You see where we've added strength to the, this is some stuff that we put in to transfer this weight, but we've got a cross member here with a loop for the drive shaft, just in case it was to get loose. You can see that everything comes up dress right dress, everything's in cables. This is the business end, this is the cutouts. When a couple of seconds, he can go from quiet mufflers to open headers. And this comes out electrically in about that same 2 seconds. It can go quiet. We have the subframe connectors here that connect the front heights subframe to the rear subframe. And then we have the transmission support. This is your 6-speed. It's a TKO 600, which is just about at its limit now, because that's what we've got. You got explosion-proof belt housing here. Double-faced clutch, and then it comes to the new engine with the Holly on the bottom end, and on the top is fast. You see jet hot coated headers, and this is the front heights subframe with the coilovers and the 13-inch rotors with the 6-piston calipers. But you see that everything underneath here is color coded to make it not only pleasing, but so that it's dress right dress as we come forward. We've got the bottom of the side of this radiator here, and this is all business. These are fans that are what we call brushless fans that are infinitely variable. All of the relays and everything for the fans is off in the engine compartment, but it's out of sight. but it's serviceable. So we tried to own, you can see the sway bar here, front and rear, but this is the front large sway bar, along with the Heights lower and upper control arms. So it's really a neat package. But this is the business end of this car, and it is not only functional, I mean extremely functional, it is nice looking and crisp. We show you the muscle cars that we're building right now, but if you've got a favorite muscle car, please comment on that, put that in your comments column, and let us see if we've done one of those, and we'd be glad to put that out for you. Or if you've got some pictures, then email it to us at dlyons@impatientcreations.com. Share, like, and comment. Thank you.